Hello friends, how are you all doing? Welcome to our CSS training session. Today, we will learn how to add CSS to an HTML document. There are three main methods for adding CSS to our HTML document: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. The first method we will look at is inline CSS. If you want to style only one element, you can use inline CSS. You can see it here. We have a p tag, and we are using the style attribute, which is used in inline CSS. Here, we will use the style attribute in inline CSS and specify its properties inside it. For example, I'm setting the color property to blue. This will change the text color to blue. I will copy this code and paste it into my code editor. Now, you can see the style here. The color is set to blue for the text. The Hello CSS text, which appears in blue. Next, I will add another property, such as increasing the font size. Here, I will set the font size to 30 pixels. Notice that the text size is now 30 pixels. The advantage of inline CSS is that you can immediately apply styles to any element. However, the drawback is that if you need to make many changes, the code will become cluttered, which can be challenging for larger projects. So, we recommend that people avoid using this for large projects. If it's a small project, then it's fine to use, but for a large project, it's best to avoid it. Next is internal CSS, where we define styles directly in the head section of the HTML document using the style element. Here, you can see how it's done. Inside the head tag of our HTML document, we have used the style element to add whatever styling we want. We have also used internal CSS in the last two sessions we reviewed. Now, let me give you an example of internal CSS. I'll paste it here as I go along. The style tag that we have used here, we have added some text, so it appears here. The color property is set to blue, which makes the text appear blue. Now, let me add another property, such as background color. I will set the background color to yellow, which will make the background color to yellow. This is how we can use internal CSS to style elements. However, this method is useful only when styling a single page. If you want the same style on multiple pages, you would need to copy and paste it onto each page, which is not efficient. Now, we come to the final and most commonly used method, which is external CSS. In this method, we keep the styles in a separate file. Here you can see an HTML file, and in the head section, there's a link to an external CSS file. In the external CSS file, we define the styles separately. For example, we can create a rule for the p element by setting the color property to blue. I will simply copy this code and paste it into the code editor. Now I will correct it from here. As you can see, my style.css file currently has nothing inside it, so no styles are being applied. Take a look at the link element. It includes attributes that specify the relationship as a style sheet and the type as text/CSS. The href attribute points to the path of style.css. Now I will add some CSS. In style.css, I will target the p element and set the color to blue. Once this is applied, you will see the text color change to blue. Now, if I want, I can add more styles, like giving it a border. For example, I can set it to 1 pixel solid green. You can see here that a green border has been applied. If I increase the size to 3 pixels, the green border becomes thicker. This is how we can use external CSS. The advantage of external CSS is that you can style multiple pages with a single CSS file, making it perfect for creating large websites. The only drawback is that if the CSS file doesn't load, none of the styles will be applied. So friends, these were the 3 methods for adding CSS to HTML: inline, internal, and external CSS. Each method has its pros and cons, but for large projects, external CSS is the most effective approach. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.